どうも、獅子王玄白と申します。Well, it feels very good to be back here. I don't know what that asshole has done to me the past few days, in the past few recordings, but it's good to be back. Well, today in this video recording, I'll be sharing my impressions and my own opinions and review on the newly released film called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's a very long title, but the movie is 2 hours long, so I guess that's quite long, considering most blockbuster films, they're only 1.5 hours. But 2 hours with a lot of content, delving deep into the lore, it's a 2 hours spent. Today, I chose to enter the cinema at a very early time, right before lunchtime, because it's the first Dolby Atmos screening of the movie theater that's closest to my residential flat, and I gotta say, it was a little bit rushed getting lunch before lunchtime and managing to get into the movie theater, get the tickets ready, and entering the theater room, the Dolby Atmos theater room. It's quite a rush, but I made it through. And because it's the first day of screening, and it's the very first screening session of that theater, even though it's located in middle of nowhere, there's a lot of people. I'd say like 3/4 of the theater room is full, jam-packed. And after leaving the theater, going back to the lobby area where you buy tickets and wait for the next movie airing time to call in movie watchers, there's more people than I entered. Maybe because it's 2 p.m. when I finished the film, but it's quite amazing, I would say. And continuing from the Multiverse of Madness, we have a little taste from Spider-Man No Way Home, comes the actual confusing Multiverse of Madness that is introduced in Doctor Strange. In this video, I'm going to talk about the plot and the story. Well, that's a bit redundant, but yeah, I'm going to talk about the plot and some events. Also, just comparing the characters within the film, kind of like an analysis. And if you haven't watched the movie, which is most of you, because I am 2 days before the American release date. But yeah, if you haven't watched the movie and you don't want to get spoiled, I suggest you to click off this video until you watch the film at the theaters. But yeah, I have warned you, so carefully tread through the rest of the video file that I am going to upload. And with enough warning being issued ahead, let's step into the spoiler territory, and let's begin. Well, that is a very poor attempt at the Marvel introduction jingle in Disney's Marvel films, but you see, even in the intro jingle sequence, the montage of previous film previous scenes from previous films, they hide subtle details. And during the scenes from previous films, and they show portions of the screenplay, most of the montage belong to scenes from the first Doctor Strange film, although there are some scenes from other movies during the end of the jingle sequence. The spot that is supposed to have Spider-Man is no longer there, so that's a kind of like a continuity notch if you watch Spider-Man No Way Home. Instead, it's replaced by either Rocket Raccoon or the Iron Patriot. I forgot which one it was during the intro sequence. But we start the film with America Chavez and Doctor Strange from a different universe running away from a demon at a limbo space in between different universes of the multiverse. And it was a very fast beginning sequence where they escape, run, kind of like your platformer escaping sequence. And they didn't really make it. They're almost there to the Book of Vishanti, but the demon injuring Doctor Strange, with this version being able to speak Spanish, he backstabs America Chavez, and at the very last ditch effort, Doctor Strange attempts to redeem himself by creating a distraction for the demon, for America Chavez to open another portal to get into another multiverse, teleport herself to the universe that we know, the universe that we are familiar with. With her, how should I say this? With her traveling, she brought in with her the dead body of that Strange, the Strange that backstabbed her. And the monster is nowhere to be seen. But that sequence ends with it's revealed to us that it's a dream sequence that Doctor Strange we're familiar with, dreams every single night after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. Then we cut to Doctor Strange getting dressed very nicely for Christine Palmer's wedding with a ordinary dude who happens to be Doctor Strange's fan. And he meets up with his old surgeon rival, and because it's 5 years past the blip, the rival with his look more sorrow, more older than he is, facing middle-age crisis, as well as losing his 2 cats during the blip. And what else? There is a very essential question that is asked by Kristen Palmer to Doctor Strange and that essential question is, are you happy? Well, Strange being an arrogant asshole, well, he is, because Benedict Cumberbatch did enact him the right way to prove that he is a smart ass, arrogant asshole. He answered, but he lied, saying yes, he is happy, in spite of letting Christine Palmer go and making the necessary choices to save the world from the event that Thanos brought upon. Yeah, and then we just got an abrupt introduction of another beast attacking America Chavez. They have a interaction. America Chavez got into a little bit of conflict after Strange defeated the monster. She's surprised that our Strange is not the Sorcerer Supreme, but Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, which is a very important detail because it is something that America Chavez didn't really encounter during her previous multiversal travels. As Stephen Strange, before the blip, is the Sorcerer Supreme. That is a detail that we need to understand. We need to remember. He is no longer the Sorcerer Supreme because of the blip, but because the blip did not occur in the other multiverse or other universes. This is a very big distinction.
I found this on the web.
Sorry, I just got disturbed by Siri. It's very, very annoying. But let's continue on the more important details. Wanda Maximoff, another very important character that is told to us by Marvel way before the first trailer of this film dropped. Wanda is, surprisingly, she is the dark mist and the scarlet skies we see in the trailers. They edited her out because they didn't want us to know that the demons are controlled by Wanda Maximoff. And Wanda went on a heel turn. But if you ever watched videos or you watched the entire television series on WandaVision, you would know that there's something off with Wanda. And at the very end, she had the access of the Darkhold, and that corrupted her, turning her heel, making her a tragic villainess in this film. And other essential characters being America Chavez, which is the plot point within this film, because the motives of Doctor Strange is to just, in this film, at least the motive of the Strange we know, he wants to preserve the universal balance of his world, and he needed help to help America Chavez not getting hunted down by the demons she faced across the multiverse. But as I just said, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, she turned heel and becomes the central villain of this film. Because of that, Wanda, her motive is she wants to recreate Westview, but albeit make it more permanent. She wants that Westview illusion to be real. And that just drove her crazy. And with that being her losing her family and wanting it back, that is enough to drive someone from justice into evil. And Marvel's trying to tell us that they're trying to make Wanda Maximoff a sympathetical villainess, and I'll say it myself. She is very, very. Her approach, or Marvel's approach on the character, is very, very successful. And we have Wong being the sidekick, but this time he's more of a elevated figure. He is the Sorcerer Supreme, so he's someone we respect. continuity-wise, we don't know whether this is before Shang-Chi or after Shang-Chi. And whether Wong doing karaoke with Shang-Chi is before this whole Multiverse of Madness begins or after. It seems like after, but we don't really know. And Christine Palmer is also a very important character, because even though Strange willingly let go, our Strange willingly let go, he still has feelings for Christine Palmer. And even though Doctor Strange, he wants to move on, it's still a conflicting plot point of Doctor Strange. Even when Doctor Strange is, how should I say this? He is not a dynamic character. Even though the choices he faced in the film, it forces him to change. It doesn't change him as a person. His personality, his arrogance is still there. The only difference is that he outsmarts. He finds out a new way to outsmart or to forcefully convince the villain of that film to bet to his motive. And that probably sums up the main characters, the relationship. I'm not professional in this, but you gotta trust me on this one. And next, we talk about the other surprising part of the film. First, we see Carl Mortal. Even though Mortal is teased in the first film that he would return, this is not the Mortal we know. He is from an alternate universe. In the film, they call it the 818 universe. While the universe we know, the MCU universe that we are familiar with, is identified by Christine Palmer of the alternate universe as Earth 616. And 616 is also coincidentally the mainline comics universe. So, yeah, we see four different versions of Doctor Strange. The Strange we know from 616, Earth 818's Supreme Strange, and being able to reconcile with his hero buddies after being corrupted by the Darkhold. But he basically is Earth 818, the alternate universe's Iron Man, but he had faced a way more tragic end than what we would revere our universe's, our MCU universe's Tony Stark. He is revered as a hero, but that is proved to be a lie. And we have an unknown universe's Doctor Strange called Sinister Strange, who was never able to atone for his corruption. And we have the fourth one, which is the Strange that we see at the very beginning. We do not know which universe he's from. We only know that he's called Defender Strange because he is based off of Doctor Strange's outfit or portrayal in the Defenders comics. He has a different hairstyle, but he's dead and he has been zombified. Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff in our mainline MCU universe, she has her Eastern Europe accent is gone. But when playing a alternate universe, A18's universe's Wanda, who lives in Westview, Jersey, she kept I think she kept a little bit of her Eastern Europe Sokovian accent, but it's very subtle. You don't really see a difference. It's just the intonation and the speech pattern. But that didn't really matter because when Wanda from the mainline MCU universe did use the Darkhold to dreamwalk, it's there's no difference other than we get to see the thriller-esque antics that Sam Raimi is well known for, like Scarlet Witch becomes a Thrasher villain like Jason or the Halloween. She's unstoppable, and people just meet their ends on the hands of Scarlet Witch. Speaking of Scarlet Witch, let's talk about Scarlet Witch's victims. As she became Scarlet Witch in the mainline MCU universe, she slaughtered a lot of Comitage students, and we see her Avengers 2 antic of corrupting or affecting people's minds when she manages to convince one of the Comitage students to break from the mystical arts shield and run and shoving people in panic. So that's kind of like the mind fuck she does to a lot of different Avengers members, minus Hawkeye, because it doesn't work on Hawkeye. But yeah, he's not important in the MCU anymore. Not that important on a relative scale. Even like Doctor Strange, when he met with Wanda during Wanda's illusion, they kind of dissed Hawkeye and the other remaining MCU Avengers doing their chit chat before Wanda said, "Fuck it, I'm turning heel now." Yeah, it's a very bad interpretation of how the things go, but that's my best way of summarizing it and spoiling as least to the best of my ability to not subtly spoil. But yeah, other victims include there is this Comitage sorcerer called I think her name is Sarah, not or Sarah. I don't remember. She talks in a Bantu accent or intonation, the Bantu language intonation, where she sacrifices herself to destroy the Darkhold copy, temporarily preventing Wanda from stalking American Chavez and Doctor Strange, but she was able to coerce Wong to take her to the place where the Darkhold is inscribed on, with archdemons guarding at the land of the mountains of Taboo, by just holding 3 students and a green minotaur called Rintra hostage. Rintra is speaking of Rintra is very, very hilarious. He doesn't really have long lines, but he's like the fanboy character, kind of like the audience perspective. He's new there. He's an apprentice of Comitage, learning the mystic arts, even though he's from another dimension. And of course, when you see a star, you definitely fangirl and you bow in front of the Sorcerer Supreme, which the New York Sanctum Master and the Hong Kong Sanctum Master, they bow in front of Wong but Stephen Strange did not bow at the very beginning of the film. And let's go back to victims of Wanda Maximoff. In the trailer, we see Ultron being contained as a very good security system. But as you can tell, with Wanda Maximoff going berserk and the thriller slasher mode, Ultron, even when perfected, is not. Ultron bots are not a match against Wanda. They basically got annihilated by Wanda's fury. The Illuminati, minus alternate Karamoto, is they are all like annihilated by Wanda. The members of Illuminati of Earth 818 are as following. We got Captain Carter from the What If series. We got Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. We got Black Bolt, the Inhuman King, who guards the Terrigemists. He's portrayed by the same actor that portrayed the same character in the ABC Inhuman series that flopped. And I think Disney hated that series so much that Black Bolt is the first victim among the Illuminati. You got Richard Reeds from the Fantastic Four, and you've got Professor X. As Professor X is willing to be a devil's advocate and try to defend our Strange. He is the last of the 5 members within the Illuminati that met their downfall while trying to stall Wanda Maximoff. And I think even though like they had very, very short screen time, to the point that I would call them extended cameos, I think that Professor X, Patrick Stewart, enjoyed the most. he had the longest screen time, even debating Karamoto on giving our Strange the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, it felt like very natural that the order went that way. It's very funny that Disney hated the Inhuman series, so they killed off the Inhuman King first. Then Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, is torn into shreds by Wanda. Then we see Captain Carter and Captain Marvel, the 2 female fatales. They valiantly fought Wanda, and the most characteristic has to, among the Illuminati members, had the character development or the continuity. Not, it has to come with Professor X, because we get to see like Professor X explaining the lore behind 818's endgame against Thanos, with the dark past that they had, the dark sacrifice they had to do to bring order to that universe. We also have Professor X resemble the Professor X from the Fox mutant universe, even though the chair is more comic accurate. And Professor X still tries to save the Wanda Maximoff of this universe from the Wanda Maximoff from the mainline MCU universe, but like how he got defeated in the mind in the Fox universe, and also in the comics, Professor X met his downfall when he got snapped in the neck by Wanda Maximoff in the brain sequence, and as a result, Professor X also met his downfall there. And then we got this very cliche ending sequence on how to convince Wanda to get away from to stop her Darkhold madness. Because Wanda is able to destroy the Book of Vishanti, but as the lore suggests, the Book of Vishanti is able to give you the thing that you need. Even though America Chavez doesn't know how to control her powers, the Book of Vishanti suggests otherwise, as the Book of Vishanti provides the thing that you need to destroy the Darkhold or the Darkhold user. It is very appropriate that America Chavez wasn't able to control her powers because she wasn't aware that she could bend it to her will, and how to convince America Chavez doing so. She needed the encourage from non-Sorcerer Supreme Strange, the Strange that we know. But Strange and A18's Christine Palmer is exiled to Sinister Strange's reality. So what happens? You fight evil with evil, and you take Sinister Strange's Darkhold to defeat Darkhold corrupted Scarlet Witch. Sounds very cliche, but it did work. Like the damned souls from the Darkhold was able to Stephen Strange was able to bend them into his will and turn them into his magical cape for the zombie Strange. And yeah, it's very entertaining, I would say. There are still flaws in the plot. I just mentioned one of them, and also how the Illuminati being able to defeat Thanos with the help of corrupted but atoned Stephen Strange was not able to defeat Scarlet Witch because their Strange is no longer there. And Karamoto from the alternate universe, he is one sly son of a bitch. And yeah, there are kind of like a lot of backstabbing, but in the end, Doctor Strange is able to convince Wanda Maximoff to give up the Darkhold, because even if she was able to hop between multiverses and reunite with her kids, those aren't her kids, and those kids from the alternate universe, they kind of fear her and see her as a monster, and she had to, which make her kind of like a sympathetic, tragic villainess, and she was able to atone herself like how Supreme Strange was, by relinquishing the Darkhold, destroying the Darkhold, and in all the other universes by dreamwalk, and that's it. It's somewhat anticlimactic and climatic at the same time, and you just feel like it's very, very unconventional storytelling because things go from 0 to 100 real fucking fast, and but because it's the Multiverse of Madness, it's justifiable because you don't know what the hell is going on in the alternate universes, right? Yeah. I've talked too much and stalled for 30 minutes, but that's kind of like my honest feelings and my opinions on this film. There's one thing though, the post credit scene is just a goofy Marvel kind of bamboozle of. Remember the guy that Strange cast the spell on so that he would punch himself for 3 weeks? We finally see the ending of the 3 weeks with the guy becoming insane. I said, yes, it ended at the very end of the film. It was very hilarious. But in the more important part is the mid-credit scene where there is this woman. I do not know her character. There is this female character who is able to slash through dimension, and she comes to Warren Strange and enlisted his help. She slashes open the dimension, and through the dimension we see the Dark Realm, which is the realm where Dormammu resides. The realm that Strange bargained in the previous film. And the film ends with a full circle with Doctor Strange fixing the broken watch at the very beginning of the film when he woke up from his bed. He gets dressed nicely, but because of the after effects of the Darkhold, he gains a third eye, similar to how Sinister Strange had, and he screeches on the road like Dio Brando goes. He doesn't really go but he screeches and he yells in pain while doing a similar position. Or a more relatable position is the Shinsuke Nakamura WWE entrance where he just falls down on his back doing his entrance on the square circle before he enters. That position. He just falls down the road and screeches. And that third eye reappears in the post mid credit scene. But that's all. We get all the things that I wanted to discuss out of the way. I feel like it is a very good film. It's way better than the previous film, but the same visual problems still exist because, as it is the mystical arts, some of the CGI, the effects, they're not very visual friendly for your eye, but it's very comical when they hop between the different dimensions and different universes before arriving into Supreme Strange's universe and Doctor Strange puking, just like how Rocket Raccoon almost puked by going through too much light speed hopping between the galaxy. That. And with all the pros and cons, and the cons that I didn't really mention in this video being factored in, I'd give this film a solid 8 out of 5. 8 out of 10, not 8 out of 5, 8 out of 10. And that's all from me. My name is Shishio Genhaku, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.